The question is it Nexon trying to hide behind another studio? That's probably the biggest question. We got a new one. Remember the time that I covered a game that is very similar to Dark and Darker? They have since changed their direction and are looking pretty good. It's definitely a different concept. More to come on that video. That game was called Dread: The Unholy Descent. Obviously, we've got the big behemoth at the moment that is out in early access and it's thriving. It's doing pretty well, Dark and Darker. There's a new one. This genre is definitely kicking off. There is a lot of speculation about this one. There is a lot of hate about this one. I have played it personally. It's not that bad, especially for the first playtest. Now, there is no release date scheduled. It just has come in soon on the Steam page. And this one is called Greed is Good. Greed is Good is a PvPvE game in a mysterious dungeon as a bounty hunter. In the game, you'll need to play with your teammates, fight dangerous mobs like skeletons, mosquitoes, skeleton archers, spiders, loot chests, find blue and red portals. You can see the similarities. There are quite a lot of similarities. Now, before we get into it, this game is developed by a studio called The Fool Studio. Now, I have had several other people try and scour the internet for this. We have found nothing. Could this be the next Nexon game? I am completely speculating here. However, with all the background and all the history between Nexon and Iron Mace, could this be the game that they're talking about? It is very similar. Is this the game that the genre was stolen from? We'll have to find some more information on that. However, my initial thoughts on the game, the graphics are lovely. The graphics are lovely. The gameplay is there. There is a few things that I will talk about when I get into the gameplay, but there are a few things missing. However, this is a first playtest. The question is it Nexon trying to hide behind another studio? That's probably the biggest question. If we can find out more information, or if anyone here has more information, please do send it across to me so I can straighten out this video. That's probably the biggest question I've got for you today. But let's get into some gameplay. Let's have a look at it, and I'll give you my thoughts, especially pros and cons. Okay, so here is the starter screen where you start your journey on Greed is Good. You have your level at the top left, and you can see your profile, and you can see your previous games, your match history. You have your heroes. Now, there is an option of 7 heroes. These are very similar, but again, this is in a D&D kind of fantasy genre, so they are going to be somewhat similar. You have the fighter, or the tank, I think this one is called. Yep, you have a tank called Aiden. You have a fire mage. You have a rogue. You have a ranger. You have a barbarian. I think this is just called a warrior, but you'll know it as a barbarian if you are used to Dark and Darker. You have a cleric or a battle healer, and you also have a frost mage. So as you can see so far, you have 2 different mages. Whilst you go on here, you can also look at your skills. You have 2 active skills, and once you get to level 10, you'll have an option of another 2 active skills, and then you have 4 passive skills. And as you can see on the right hand side, once you level up, you will be able to activate these passives in your gameplay. You have a wide range of attributes. You can see everything down to the last letter, just like other games. You can see your magical damage, you can see your head damage bonus, your head damage reduction, your physical damage bonus, your magical or physical resistance, your toxic resistance, your holy resistance. There is quite a lot of detail in this, especially for the first playtest. Your stash works very similar. You go into a game, you get the gear, then you extract and you keep that stuff. However, your stash is your main stash. That is there across all of your characters. So if I wanted to try a different character right now, I could just select a fighter, and there you go. I am now playing a fighter or a barbarian, and I have the same stash as my fire mage. So it's all entwined, and you can help progress each character by playing other characters, essentially. You have your merchants. Now, this is very similar to, you have the weaponsmith, armorer, alchemist, grocer, and sly merchant. Now, these are pretty much where you sell things, or you can buy some basic gear. This is where you can buy some pickaxes to, yep, you guessed it, you can mine in this. You can mine blue and red gems. I believe the blue gem is iridium, and I have yet to see the red one. We'll find out what that's called now by going on the armorer. You can go on crafting, and you can see right here, we need violetium. Was it violetium? Or I'm gonna go with violetium. You know, it's got a better ring to it. Sounds a bit more, you know, fantastic. Which fits the fantasy genre. No? Okay, just me. Then you've got Sly Merchant, which is the Goblin Merchant. So you can gamble your stuff here, and you can buy mystery gifts, and they could be good quality, or if you're anything like me, they will be dreadful. They will be grey. As you can see from the get-go, the waiting room is a tavern with dummies. You know, everyone's going to say it's a straight rip or it's complete copy, but however, it's within the same genre. I'm just trying to keep an open mind here. So far, seems very similar, but there are quite a lot of differences as well. I hear axes.
I'll open it up, see what happens.
Oh. Because that thing's disgusting. So you can see it's the same principle. You spawn in a dungeon, fight your way through enemies of different kinds. You loot chests and valuables along the way whilst trying to fight other players. The foundations are the same, but it's to be expected in a similar game within the same genre. The graphics are a strong point for me in this playtest, and the environment feels pretty daunting. It's nice to look at, but it still holds that dark dungeon vibe whilst also being a little bit brighter. The fire mechanics are as simple as pressing a button to start a cast, left click to finish the cast, and then send that fireball into your opponent's face. For the melee, you know, it's just swing and block. When fighting AI, you also have the hit once or twice and back away mechanic, as the PvE can be pretty devastating and end your run in a few swings. You also have access to a map showing you where you and your friends are and where the circle is going. This also allows you to plan a route beforehand, regardless of map knowledge. Which could be good for some, but I personally prefer not having access to a map, meaning you have to learn the maps, or just find out the hard way, which I usually do. As the circle closes, there will be alerts to blue portals opening. Now, the blue portals are the ones that take you back to your stash, and you know you can sell all the valuables to a merchant. The red ones take you to another level, meaning you have to fight stronger mobs, potentially bosses, and get out with even better loot.
Ah!
Oh!
Ow.
So my initial pros and cons, after seeing a little bit of gameplay and after playing about an hour of it last night. For the first playtest, the graphics are really nice. The stream, when I was playing, also said that the graphics are quite pleasing, and some of them actually preferred it to the dark and darker aesthetics. Now, that is pretty much it for pros at the moment, unfortunately. However, it's an early playtest, things may change. The cons, the big one for me right now is the movement feels a bit clunky, you feel a bit slow, especially in a dungeon that feels so giant with high ceilings. You feel like you're kind of stuck in the mud. You've got glue on your feet. But the main issue for me is the weapon collision. The weapon collision, no matter what you're hitting, it could be wood, enemies, players, air, or teammates, it all feels exactly the same. That is the main reason that I played a fire mage during the gameplay. I tried out a barbarian, I tried out a rogue, and I tried out a warrior, and it just didn't feel right. You don't know if you're hitting enemies, especially in the PvP fights. You cannot tell if you're hitting someone or if you're just straight up missing. These things could change in an early access or in later playtests if these do come about. Who knows? I'm speculating here. But the biggest question is, hopefully we get some more news or some more information regarding this developer. As I have looked at the Steam forums, I've looked on Reddit, I have Tried everywhere, and at the moment, I have found nothing. Even the official Discord is not moderated by anyone tied to this developing studio, and they have not announced anything other than just upcoming patch notes. There is no representative there, and that leaves me a bit worrisome. Could this be next on hiding behind another name? Who knows? We'll find out. If we do find out, you'll be getting a video here too. If you are interested in seeing more of this, I will be playing for a few hours today on stream. So I stream 5 days a week over on Twitch TV/AZzyUK. Come check us out, come hang out and see what this game's about. Or if not today, come hang around, see what we're playing on the day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
A big thank you to the supporters over on Patreon. If you're interested in watching our podcast live, exclusive behind the scenes access, early access on limited merch and discounts, then head on over to patreon.com/AZzyUK.